Do me a favor and stand up and try this. Put your feet along a straight line and then just turn your toes out ever so slightly. And then from there, I want you to lock your knees out. In other words, extend them fully by contracting your quads. And at the same time, squeeze those glutes together. If you've done this right with your foot positioning on the ground, you should feel a really good contraction here. And then finally, what I want you to do is make a fist with your thumb just like this. And then put that thumb alongside your sternum. And all I want you to do is take the knuckles that are now facing somewhat at an angle downward and point them up by lifting your sternum. Think that you have a glass of water attached to your sternum and just lift it so that none of it is falling out the front of the glass. In this position, you're going to feel exactly what it's supposed to feel like to be in this better posture. And ironically, we fix the thoracic extension loss by starting from the ground up. But that's how the kinetic chain works. But of course, you're not going to walk around like this all the time because we really haven't fixed anything yet. But if I could give you a quick routine to reinforce these things, well, that's where the real benefits occur. And by quick, I mean literally just 5 minutes. So you've got 5 exercises, 2 here for the thoracic area and 2 for the glutes. And then we have 1 combo exercise. And the way we structure it is basically taking those first 2, A and B, and you perform them for 30 seconds apiece. Thoracic for 30, glutes for 30, you go back, thoracic for 30, and glutes for 30. That's 2 minutes, you do 30 seconds of the combo exercise. Now, if you don't have a lot of time, you can stop right there. But if you got 2.5 extra minutes, it'll be well worth your time to do exercises C and D in the same manner. Thoracic for 30 seconds and glutes, you go back again and repeat that one more time, and you finish one more time with that combo exercise. That's a total of just 5 minutes. And the first thoracic exercise is one that's actually going to help us to attack the weakness in the upper back that oftentimes contributes to that poor posture. We call this one the Superman. And it's very easily performed here down on the floor. You take your fists, you put them right here on that sternum again. And this time we're going to try to reveal our S. That's where the Superman comes from, by spreading across the chest and digging your elbows down into the floor. And if you do this properly, you're going to feel those muscles between the shoulder blades engage to allow you to lift that sternum up. And think about the test we just did. Take your hand and think about raising it as high as you can by lifting the sternum and tilting backwards at the same time. You perform this as repetitions, as many as you can get that are high quality, that you can perform within that 30-second time period, and then you move on to exercise number 2. And this too can be performed right down here on the floor, but this time we're shifting our focus to the glutes. So when we talk about glute weakness, it's not the absolute level of strength that you're missing here, but more importantly, your strength endurance. Because when we're talking about postural flaws, you need to be able to have the ability to control it for a long period of time. So the glute march is a great way to do this. You get into this bridge position here, trying to create a straight line from the thighs all the way down to the torso. And now you're just going to alternate your foot lift about 5 or 6 inches on the left and 5 or 6 inches on the right, but most importantly, without allowing a drop of the pelvis when you do lift the leg. So not dropping this way and not dropping to one side when you lift the foot up. The idea, as always, is to make sure you perform quality repetitions for those 30 seconds, and when you're done, you move on to the combo exercise. Now with 30 seconds of each of those exercises performed, you're now 1 minute into the routine. You repeat that combination one more time, and you're 2 minutes in total. Now we've performed the 30 seconds, however, of that combination exercise. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is a bridge and reach over. So now we're going to go back to that bridge, but this time reach across and back with the opposite arm. So we're getting that thoracic rotation and extension. At the same time, we're getting that lift and activation through the glutes. So we can tie in both of these deficits and work on them all at one time and kind of bring it all together with just this final 30 seconds. And so the second thoracic exercise actually just requires a chair. You come down here on the floor and you take your elbows and you put them on top of the chair. And your hands are going to go on the top of your upper back. Now at this point, your goal is to just sink yourself down, really trying to lead with your chest. In other words, try to touch your chest to the ground, obviously being limited by the fact that your elbows are preventing you from going too low. But this is great because it focuses in right on that area that we spoke about earlier. The key here is to perform these as repetitions as well by lifting up and then again resetting and dropping the chest down as best you can. The additional benefit that comes from this is that we're getting a good lat stretch, and we know that the lats are also internal rotators of the shoulder, contributing to more of that rounded, hunched posture, so we're getting a double bang for our buck. Remember, perform high quality repetitions for 30 seconds and move on to the next glute exercise. And that exercise is actually called a wall DL, which is utilizing an RDL pattern, but it's helping to strengthen those glutes once again and establish full hip extension, while also reinforcing that thoracic extension that we're looking for. So you put your hands up against the wall like this, and you drive your knee up into the wall as well. Now what we're really focusing on is actually this down leg, because what I want to do at this point is kick my foot backwards to hinge, but establish this flexed hip position, and then drive off of that, utilizing the glute to get through full hip extension. The only way I'm getting my knee back to the wall is to fully extend through the hip. And again, full hip extension is good glute activation, and by doing that, we're fixing the pelvis from below and helping to reinforce that upper back. And oh, by the way, the upper back is being reinforced in this position by keeping the hands in contact with the wall, which establishes the same dip that we had on that chair exercise to keep that extension that we're looking for. The first time through, you go 30 seconds on the right leg, and the second time you perform this, you go 30 seconds on the left leg. Now remember, after performing these C and D exercises twice, you've got one 30-second time period left over, and that's going to be reserved once again for that E exercise, the combo bridge and reach over, that you're going to do for one final period of 30 seconds. Guys, remember, when it comes to creating meaningful change, the only way we can get there is through consistency. And the only way I believe we can get consistency is when the task that you're being asked to do is not that daunting. This is short, this is quick, but I promise you it will be effective. If you're looking for a complete workout, guys, that are equally effective and not time-consuming, you can find them over at ATHLEAN-X.com. If you find this routine helpful, make sure you leave your comments below. And also, if you haven't done so, click subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video when we put one out. All right, guys, I hope this helps you. See you soon.